Howdy folks, Mike here. We got this Butler Coleman blowtorch actually. This torch I inherited it from a great uncle of mine about a year or so ago. I was in his garage and he said I could look at some stuff and take some stuff. And then this one showed up and I asked him if I could have it and he was humming and hawing and then he says, yeah, go ahead, take it. So it's been sitting around my basement here for a while. And I want to get it working because it's pretty cool. It's actually a Coleman. It's a Model 92. And, well, this is what the old school technicians use for body work, brazing. Because basically it runs on like a gasoline-based fuel. Likely like, kind of like those Coleman stuff. But this one actually is made by Coleman. So we're going to see if we can fix this up and get it working. I had a problem with the pump. This is the gasket, and trying to find one is pretty hard. So what I did was I had a pair of work boots, so I needed a piece of leather. So I just cut a hole in the work boots. The old leather is there. So my plan is to try and make my own pump cup. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna trace that out with a marker and see if we can make a couple of pump caps. There, a Coleman font here makes a very good phone stand. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trace out the outside of this thing and hope I can cut it into a reasonable circle. What I might do is put a socket on it actually, so that I get a very round shape. Like that, it looks a little funny here, but if I'm doing it correctly, I can make two cups side by side. So I'm gonna grab a just a socket. Where to put that? So I got a socket here, 19 mil, 3/4, roughly. This would fit over this, right? So I'm gonna cut this pump cap to that size, and then I'm gonna try bend it and work it and oil it and see if I can get it to go into here. If I can just make a pump cap like that and put a hole in it, I can get that right on there. So let's go ahead, let's trace it out a little bit better. So just get a marker, because the better I cut, it's an experiment, so I'm like, whatever, it is what it is. See, there's the shape. Now I'm just gonna get myself a pair of scissors and we're gonna try cut this thing out. The full-size Coleman stuff doesn't fit. See, here's the shape. There's the smooth spot, and most Coleman stuff I've seen is kind of flared over the opposite direction. So now what I gotta do is I'm gonna drill a hole in here that's this size. So I'll find a drill bit that fits that, and then I'll drill a hole in the center and I'll form it, and I'll see if I can oil this up and put it inside my torch here and see if it works. So here's the drill bit. This size here, you can see that it should work. So I'm gonna center this thing as best as I can. And then I'm gonna just drill a hole in the center of it. And if it's a little snug, that's okay. So it should work here if I get it to bend over properly here. So what I might do is I might shove it inside a socket to get the basic shape. But I'll trim this up just a bit better here so it's a little rounder, and then we'll try form it into a pump cup. Okay, so there's our basic shape again. I just trimmed it just a little bit more. I mean, it is an experiment, so I don't know how I would do this. But I'm gonna get that little nut off. Just use my hobby vise on the side here, out of the view. I'm gonna back off the nut. Like I said before, that little baby hobby vise I got here, like that is the handiest thing ever for doing little projects. Let's see here. All the Coleman stuff I've seen, it's like the fuzzy side is on the outside of it. So I'm gonna just put this on like so. Put the washer on. Thread that back on. I'm gonna go back to my vise here. And just tighten up this nut. If you over tighten it, you don't want to break these things because good luck replacing them. So a little bit snug there. Next step is, oh, dropped it. That's good for it. So there's that. That looks like it might work. Now I'm gonna soak it up a bit. I'm gonna soak it up with some 3-in-1 oil, and I'm gonna work it into a pump kit shape, and I'm gonna shove it into this pump body here, and we'll see how that goes. So I oiled this thing up. I'm just gonna use a little pocket screwdriver and gently roll it in there. I don't really have anything to form it very well, so once I roll it in there, maybe it'll be okay. So I'm just gonna start by putting it in with my fingers in a roundabout way. I'm hoping that it will conform to this thing. Might have to steam it or something, but the leather is soft enough from wearing the boots for a couple of years. So I'm just gonna gently work that down in there. I bet you it'll take shape once it sits in there for a little bit. It's definitely a snug fit, but I couldn't seem to find a part for this torch, and I really wanted to get it working because it's got some sentimental value to me. I mean, I've never seen it operate before, but the gentleman that owned it got me into, really helped me out. God-fearing gentleman. He taught me a lot of life lessons that I never really would have realized before. But he was a great uncle, not a regular uncle. See, I got it jammed in there. Oh, it's a very tight fit. That actually might be okay. So I might actually be able to make this work boot pump cap work. Put some oil in there, help soften that leather. Once I know this thing works, I'm gonna maybe polish it up and make it work. Oh yeah, that'll work. It's very stiff. I'm not entirely sure how these things are supposed to suck in air. Oh yeah, it actually is going to pump air in there. That's fantastic. Gonna tighten up that there. Probably not. It's really stiff. But the more it works, I bet you it would work. I'm not entirely sure where this thing gets its airflow from. Sounds like it could work. That is cool. Well, I guess I don't know until I try. It's holding air pressure. Well, maybe I have to go put some Coleman gas in here and put methyl hydrate in there and heat up the generator and see if it works. I'm going to fill this with some Coleman gas or Coleman to fuel. Let's see how it goes here. I'm not going to put a bazillion pounds of fuel in this thing. That should be enough maybe to start with. So once again, fire extinguisher. Gonna put some methyl hydrate in the cup. See if that'll work. I don't know how long it's supposed to burn for, or how hot or what. So I'm gonna light that. It is burning. We'll let that get hot. I'm preheating the generator. I didn't know if I was supposed to use gasoline in there or what, but I'm using methyl hydrate for now. I'm just cracking it a little bit. Try to get this thing as hot as I can. I don't know what it's gonna do. Try this again where you can actually see it. Let that heat up some more. Here we go. It's trying. I'll give it one last go here before I try to do some more research on it. Probably just needs to be taken all apart and completely cleaned. Okay, here we go. Whoa. Probably needs a really good clean. But this torch is running. This torch belonged to my late uncle, or my dad's late uncle. Here we go. That shows you can fix a torch with a work boot. This is a Coleman Butler torch, or it's a Butler torch made by Coleman. This thing's rocking away.